no bidding. But howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Bright and sunny, probably gonna be hot. Yay. Fan on in the window, door open, fans on in the hall, and hopefully I can keep the house cool, so the afternoon would be cool. That would be cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Hopefully you are doing well. I had my doctor's appointment yesterday, had my update video that I talked about things, and yeah, on the whole, I am feeling much more positive about my health and my existence than I have been. I mean, this still frightens and scares me. I don't want to have surgery around my spine and the bones around my spine and the nerves that come out of my spine, but it's take care of it or it just keeps getting worse, so that part's scary. But everything else is nice. My body has, I really shouldn't be alive, and I'm glad that I am. It's amazing. I have had, when I donated plasma when I was younger, late 30s, they would talk of, they drain your blood, they centrifuge it to get the solid parts out, they give you those back, they keep the fluid. Then they give you a bit of something as a gift, not a payment, because you can't sell things like that in the US. They give you a gift of maybe cash, and then you go out and you survive. You've donated some plasma, because they take that, you get 15 bucks, they get a barrel of it, and they make bank. But your plasma is supposed to be like the color of honey when it's hanging in a bag, clear in the color of honey. My blood would clog the filters and it looked like a bag of milk. I am amazed I am alive. And yet, my body, aside from the bad parts, like the underdeveloped arteries and such through here, that are still doing fine. I'm 60, I haven't really suffered any adverse effects from that. Yay. But all of my circulatory system is good. Apparently, I mean, so far, my heart, while I've got issues with various things, you know, I'm getting older, and I've got like bradycardia, then I know that. But bradycardia is when your heart will beat slower than it should. Tachycardia, if you've heard of that one, people go to the hospital because their heart is beating too fast. Well, I have had my pulse drop down to 30 at times, so joy. But on the whole, my pulse is generally between 50 and 60 something. But largely, I think that's just because of exercise. Because before I was exercising, my pulse was like 90 to 100. So, oy vey. I'm amazed. Once again, my body is still as alive as it is, which is amazingly good because of the horrible things I've done to it through life. Oh, it is good to not be in very bad shape. So thumbs up on that. Past that though, I did not do much yesterday because yesterday was just, the morning time was entirely gone. I left here at 7 o'clock in the morning and I walked to the hospital. Made it there by 10 to 8. I didn't leave here at 7. It was probably like 7:15 by the time I finally got out the door. But I got there just in time to be called in and stuff like that. So it was good. And then I had to go from there to Walmart to pick up the gabapentin prescription, and of course it wasn't ready even after the walk, so I had to walk around for like a half hour in the store just to not be bored, and then pick that up, and then the 3-mile walk home from there. It was 11:15 by the time I got back. You know, I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11, and 4.5 hours gone. And then, of course, I fell asleep for hours. So I woke up, tried to do what I could, actually did some recording of Daggerfall as well, and then edited and rendered that, but was just watching videos and stuff while that rendered, and then had more issues falling asleep toward the end of the night. I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday, even on the creative thinking part, though I have, of course, been thinking. Once again, not of my actual setting, but of minor things around that. The idea of that lich, Senator retired Jayne Klairn, who in their pursuit of pleasure has turned themselves into a lich, they are just, one of the reasons that things worked out so well for them is they were very, very clear that they were doing this stuff, learning and doing things for the continued pursuit of consensual pleasure, because they had fought so hard for the constituents and stuff their whole life. That was an expression of themselves. They fully believe in consent, being your own volition, voluntary, and not stepping on people. So any sort of learning or being taught or finding books where any kind of cruelty was necessary to learn, that was rejected. I'll come back to the creative part later, because actually one of the things I do want to talk about is I call things like spiders silly and other animals silly, because they will do things that if you look at them from a human viewpoint, they seem silly. And it's kind of funny in a way. I mean, if you're arachnophobic, not that, but it's funny in a way, because even now when I go walking, you walk by trees on the sidewalks, and by the time you're done, you are coated in little tiny webs all around you, because of just webs that are free floating, because spiders do that, and actual connected webs. Just a strand, just a little bit. And when you get through, you can run your hands over your hair and you'll feel your hair pull as the little bit of web gets pulled off. I am coated from head to foot with little tiny webs when I walk just on normal streets. When I walk through that path by the stream in the forest plot behind the library that will lead to close to the hospital, oh boy, am I coated in webs when I come out of that one. It's just everywhere, pulling these things off all the time. There's I'll be walking along and boink, there's a web that goes across, have to pull it off the front of my face. They're everywhere. Back when I was arachnophobic, it was awful. Now, I just laugh. Again, I say, oh, they're just silly little spiders. And again, back to the behaviors of animals that we call silly and all that. And yet, except for some of them, the more intelligent creatures, what we can call silly is still desperate struggles for survival. All of those webs that I got coated with, those are things that are either directly searching for food or providing a support for a way to hunt for food. The world is coated in webs outside. Take a good strong look at everything. There's webs coating everything. And I don't just mean in nature. Outside of the house here, like there's an open garage, where you just drive in under the parkway sort of thing, and it's just open. But you walk out there and everything is just coated with webbing. You get coated webbing between things. Spider webs are everywhere. I mean, even inside, I tend to leave spider webs up so they get looking dirty and cobwebby. I got some nasty looking cobwebs I gotta vacuum out of here. They're covered in dust, they're not being used. But if you took all of the spider webs up there and put them into a ball, I mean, that's a lot of webbing, even the stuff that I can't see. I have gone through down in my bathroom because of the spiders that have been down there. When I've finally needed to get some space because there's so much stuff, I don't mean hanging in the air, but you run it along the walls and the ceiling, a duster, it's coated with webs that you can't see. Spiders are everywhere, and thank goodness, because without them, the world would be far more covered in more bugs than we need. So thank goodness for spiders and their voracious spider appetites. Jumping spiders, though. Look up videos about jumping spiders. They are smart. And they look, actually, they've always looked even cute to me back when I was even arachnophobic. So they are cute little things, even though they are frightening. More spider talk. Of course, spiders have 8 legs. Sorta, kinda. If you ever take a look at videos about spiders or the photos of spiders, you will notice their pedipalps. And the pedipalps are basically mouth arms. They aren't legs. They're about a quarter the size of a leg, but they don't have hands. They just have sticky spider feet. But they aren't used to walk. They move and pick things, and they grab the bugs, and they use these mouth arms to hold bugs up. So it's almost a 5th pair of legs, but not quite. And those can really be scary when you look at them, especially when you take a look at their fangs. I can't remember if it's called calchissery or chalkissery, something like that, but they're not called just fangs. It's like the chalkissery. And they're, the unfolding mouth parts that come out and stab and fang and eject and then drain. They have a very terrible, frightening beauty. Thumbs up for that. But past that, I've been going on walkies. Today I got to go to walkies. It's going to be a shorter one, probably mostly because of the heat, and also I've been walking a lot. Intermittent exercise actually is a good thing. If you're not training as such like that, intermittent exercise is good. A lot of our muscle fibers, muscle bundles, muscles themselves benefit from use weight, and that helps them bulk up a bit. So instead of doing the straight 6-mile round trip every day, I should be doing like the 6-mile round trip, then a shorter walk around town, then the 6-mile round trip, then a shorter walk around town. So I'm going to try that. So thumbs up, and of course still trying to think. So at 12 minutes in, I'm going to start talking about how, once again, instead of just dealing with the main part of my setting, which is the inside, the outside, razor's edge, and the dealings of everybody on the 3 places with the world that they have to live in. Because it's essentially our world on the outside, except people have access to doors and gates that can allow you to travel into the razor's edge just through extra universal chromosomes and genes. Because there is, within my multiversal settings, extra universal energy can pour into and through universes as they develop or after they have developed. In this particular case, a massive amount of extra universal energy poured into this one particular set of universes. They became a conjoined set, and it was a massive amount that flowed inward. I've described this as if a normal amount of energy that flows into the universe is like a thimble, maybe 30 cc's. The amount of energy that flowed into this universe is at least 10 Olympic-sized swimming pools. It's massive. The place is incredible, and because of that, with the 2 universes, they do rub and bump together against each other, forming a static electricity not electricity, I keep saying it that way, static energy that forms in the space between the universes. And then when holes get rubbed between them from the contact, these will connect, not physically, because the hole might be on the other side. Well, this one might be on its other side. They're still connected. These connections are transition points, razor's edges. And this razor's edge, which you reach through the gate in the fictional town of Brookerton in South Carolina, on the fictional river, the Samadan, you can travel into the razor's edge, and then from there you travel into the other universe, the inside, where the Crimson Kingdom is, with the King in Crimson, who is a very beneficial, very pleasant individual who has a massive kingdom that is technologically equal to ours, ahead of ours in places, behind ours in others. Because of this connection with that place, the outside, and the razor's edge between, very few times during a creation cycle does it link up that well with a high-tech, high-power, beneficial empire on the inside, where the door is, with infinite riches, at the same time as we have our civilization out here. Even though they are effectively 2 universes away, in the Crimson Kingdom, they have mobile phone technology using quantum entanglement so that these cell services work not only between reality layers on the razor's edge and on the inside, but the signal travels between universes so that people on the outside who have access through their gene structures to the inside get cell phone service so that they can talk to their friends 2 universes away. But I'm not dealing with that setting right now. Even with the extra cryptid stuff on top of that, and the cryptid world that is on top of and equal to the reality we live in, with everything that is cryptid within it, I have instead been dealing about retired Senator Jayne Klairn, who, when they do make themselves into a lich, they die. But with their magics, it's all of their knowledge and who they were is imprinted in the nanostructure of their bones. And when they wake up later, it is the nanostructure with all the downloaded memories that has continuity of consciousness. Jayne Klairn died at that time when they died. This person, even though they are not Jayne Klairn, are effectively Jayne Klairn because of continuity of memory and consciousness. But when they wake up, Klairn, the city of Klairn, where they were buried, had just a new cemetery where they were buried that was only a few hundred years old. When they wake up, they have to start building their empire inside of this necropolis, that as they are building up relations with other undead, building up this tomb of theirs into an actual home, and sending out their followers whom they've raised into their own skeletal forms, they can travel for a straight full 5 days. And it's still necropolis in every direction. Now, that's only at the beginning of their time, and I'm dealing with one of those things in my head with, okay, now that we know he's a senator, I gotta work on the city. Now that I've got the city, I need to know what the cemetery's like. Now I know what the cemetery is. This is X number of centuries, millennia in the future, when the city of Klairn, a cultural and political capital of that nation, is just a necropolis for how many hundreds of miles in every direction? Just mausoleums and ossuaries and tombs and cenotaphs, headstones and catacombs. Just that. There have to be living people out there. They made the necropolis. But all of the undead and those that are dead but still alive, but associated with the dead, like ghouls that eat the dead, where there's nothing to eat by this time. There's just dried bones of anything that was buried. So they've had to adapt and survive not eating human dead. But even so far back as written history, the only thing they record is that people used to come by to mourn the dead. But their written and oral histories only go back hundreds of years. And it's been hundreds of years since any living person was seen. So this is the early beginning of the empire of Jayne Klairn, and I'm working on that when the actual end point of the story is, of course, the empire, where it's just nobody's evil, bad, or wants horrible things. It's just, hey, we are exploring pleasure, and we've figured out how to continue experiencing pleasure even after death. They don't want to hurt people. Anybody that wants to join them is welcome. But they also want adventure for anyone coming in. So people, amongst the living, rumors are spread about this place. You can find adventure and money. So that people come by and they give them a show. Senator Klairn has enough power and enough followers with power that anybody but a god coming in is going to be effectively nullified. So they're not worried about anyone coming in and slaughtering everyone. They just give a good show, and when they make it to the inside, it's explained, and then everything's shown, and they're given a good time. Of course, told, I know you probably don't believe us. If you want to eat our food, because we have our human people here, we like to eat this stuff. Please use any of your charms and such to make sure it's good food. It's delicious. But from finding themselves in the Necropolis to reaching the point of advertising their place as the tomb of the Flaming Queen, because Senator Klairn thinks that title is absolutely hysterical. I'm really interested in that story and exploring the Necropolis, what Klairn has become, what the lands around it have become with this nation-sized necropolis. And I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. Thank you, each and every one of you. Without your help, I would have been hosed a long time ago. I and my aging pet, she's over 20. Hokey smokes. Without your help, we both would have been hosed like Christmas monkeys. And we all know that the worst way to be hosed is like one of those poor, poor Christmas monkeys. So thank you, each and every one of you. And to everybody who has donated to my PayPal or has donated to my GoFundMe, thank you so much. The end of September is racing at me like a freight train. I have been throwing out stuff and putting stuff into plastic bins. I don't have a lot of space, but I'm doing what I can, especially with this. So thank you, each and every one of you. Now I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And I'm trying to not move my laptop around so much, so now I have a detachable keyboard attached via USB hub. Yay! So I'm trying to use that. So, over here with 150% size text, Jesse Koskinen, always good to see you in the comments. And my wife really liked me in red, but that was back when I first had color in my hair. But even when I became silver, she really liked me in red, so thank you very much. We have MDH_MASELEWALE, thumbs up, and thank you very much. JAYY. Oh boy, it has been so nice getting good news for once. This has not been a good year. So Dodge V8, thumbs up and thank you. 77 Arcturus, greatly appreciated, and it is always good to hear from you in the comments. Definitely a thumbs up, thank you. We have Moon Dust, greatly appreciated. I think with the comment it could be either an insult or a compliment, one of those. Yay. Fluffy Big Butt, who I gotta call up SSI on Monday and find out what's going on with my paperwork since I mailed it in on the 13th, so here's hoping they got it. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated. It would be good if I could get this all done and things would be nice. There's Made in Canada, thumbs up, greatly appreciated. Yeah, our bodies are absolutely amazing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. There's Adrian Bryan, always good to see you, thumbs up. And we have Aaron T, thumbs up, thank you. Fluffy Pink Pandas, who has given me advice. Don't let them turn me into a vampire, and buy plenty of potions. I don't even know how I can buy potions now since I've been kicked out of the Mages Guild. We'll talk about that later in video. And that is it. Thank you each and every person that left me comments in the past 24 hours. It is greatly appreciated. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Definitely a thumbs up and a nice distraction from this. So yay. Yeah, I'm gonna just relax, play games, and I recorded a Daggerfall video yesterday and edited it, and by the time I got it rendered, it was like coming up on 11 o'clock at night, and I looked at my videos and went, I had 2 up yesterday. I'll put this up tomorrow. So that's gonna go up today, but I'm still gotta record, edit, and render something for tomorrow. So, for tomorrow, I now know don't wave my arm in that direction. So that's a thumbs up, knowing things. That's good. Yay. Anyway, hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. If you can't, don't beat yourself up. That will not help. So thumbs up on that. Past that, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. I watched really quick a video this morning that it was both a funny joke and a painful joke. It was on one of these reading things on Reddit. It was a comedy graveyard where things are supposed to be funny but they're not, or intentionally not made funny. And someone had made a one of those puzzles, like a triangle with some of the numbers given, and then you had to find X. But on the background picture of that equation was a picture of XXX Tentacion, who was shot and killed some years back as he was getting his life back together. That was a very painful video joke to make. I was just one of those things. It hurt when he died. It hurt when all of these other people have died. And that was just a painful joke. Anyway, you take care. And I'll talk to you later.